What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Donkey Kong Country. In the last episode, we just completed World 3, and I was rambling on about a few things about, actually, I forgot what I was rambling about last week. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Straight up. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I completely forgot what I was rambling about the gaming industry and just kind of how I gave up on kind of fighting on it. Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, because, like, I mean, look, it's me against the world at this point in terms of talking about this conversation. Nobody's going to listen. And I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, stuff about, like, what people should do if people are not going to listen. Like, I'm not going to, it's kind of like one of those things where, like, you lead a horse to water. It's their choice if they want to drink it or not. So if you like slop for video games, then you know what? Then enjoy slop then. I'm gonna enjoy my pork chop right here. Cause this video game's kinda like one of those actually, I don't know if I would call this game a pork chop, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a really good game for the most part. But yeah, it definitely has frustratingly like extended my gameplay for quite a long time. You'll see it on my save file when I save on Candy's save point, how long the recording session will end up taking, like from the moment that I started, or I guess like if you look at the save file, like when I started, what was in the last episode when I saved at Candy's save point last episode, and then this one, you can see how long of a time I had to like do this recording session. It required a lot, and yet no game over quite yet. Because well, to be quite honest with you, I think I would have gotten the game over at this point of the game for sure if it weren't for the fact that I just kept resetting the game at this level specifically, because, well, there's a bit of a section where it gets a little bit tough for me, and I'm just like, how is anybody supposed to follow the concept of the difficulty of this game with the barrels? Like, it's with the barrels, basically. The barrels are not a bad, like, thing. Like, in terms of, like, I thought it was hard enough in, what was in the treetop one, in, Area 3. I thought that was tough already. Nah, we have yet, honey, like, we have not began to, like, get to the difficult part of the game yet. Like, I mean, yes, this is the difficult part of the game, pretty much, for the most part, and I did not expect to get myself to get that the first try. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So I did get all the bananas in this area, so it is possible. So there you go, I was able to show that. And I just keep doing that, so I might as well just, yeah, get back down there. So, cool. What did I want to talk about? Oh, well, the Steam Machine's prices have been released, and to nobody's surprise. Well, at least, I mean, honestly, to me, it was not really a surprise. I kind of expected it to be this much, and the only thing I was not expecting was it to be $1,000 for the 512 GB. I thought it was actually going to be higher. I thought it was going to be 1,100 to be exact, and then I was not expecting a 1,300 for 2 terabytes, and then 1,400 with the controller, which is actually not a bad deal. I'm going to be honest, around that price, because the controller would cost you about $69 extra if you were to get the 2 terabyte the machine, the Steam machine, and the controller. It's you're only paying $69 more, which is actually not bad. It's actually a pretty solid deal compared to, like, if you were just buy the controller itself, it would be $100, and honestly, like, it's a good steal to the extent. But there is a review video on terms of, like, how the Steam machine is. There is a video about it out there. It's not, I forgot who it's from, but I did just watch someone react to it, and I did see it myself, and I'm like, you know what? It's fair. Fair's game's game. So, yeah. This is where I kept on pretty much screwing myself over in this area because, yeah. So the spinning barrels and the bees, it's already it's already bad enough as it is because like they keep going back and forth, and then the barrel just keeps spinning like faster and faster, and it's like, okay, I wish there was some sort of way where I can just lock it and then there it goes, but the timing with the bee passing and then the barrel like being able to face the right direction, it's like, okay, am I gonna be able to like focus myself on it? So like, yeah, this is where I technically quote unquote died. By the way, if you guys want to know what the illusion is, this is a voiceover, by the way. So I hope you guys know that, because I can't really commentate and play this game without, you know, concentrating too much, you know. So it's kind of like a, not a lose-lose, but it's just kind of like, you know, you're welcome, because this whole recording session of frustration right there at its finest for DK. So yeah, then we get to this part, and that's complete BS, but you know, what am I gonna say, you know? But then I find this. That was completely accidental, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I could just do that, and then I think that's how you get the letter G for to complete the 4 letters for Kong in you know, when you get the 4 letters in the level. So that's cool, you know, to 100% obviously, and you know, it's good that I was able to do that. So when I got out of the stage, I was like, thank God I was done. And that was, you want to actually, I'll tell you how long it took me to do that level specifically. We're like 7 minutes in the recording, so add 12 minutes, and that's how long it took. Yeah. So now we're on to Slip and Slide Glide. This song was pretty dang good. I like just I'll let you guys listen. Wait. Yeah, I'll let you listen to it. I'll just let you guys listen to it for a second. Well, listening time's over. That's fine. So now we have this mini game, which I hope I do complete it the correct way the first time. I think I do. Anyways, I'm not gonna commentate on that. The Steam price, yes. So a lot of people were disappointed with the price of it. I guess one could say even as upset as Diddy Kong over here, because as he expressed here, because like, yeah, I think people will bring a good point with this, that as soon as like the price ranges for anything hits to like 4 digits, I think the expectations for the performance of said product or for anything that they're buying is higher than, you know, than what it would be for 3 digits. Just the other day, I realized I need to like save a lot of storage for these videos. So I was able to buy myself storage, thankfully, because the SD cards were getting expensive, and I was definitely not gonna just keep resourcing on SD cards, since they are reliable for a little bit, but they're not reliable long term. And if I want to keep these videos for like at least for a decade or two, to just be able to keep it until I get like a full-on PC where I can store a set amount of terabytes or something like that. Like, when I mean like terabytes, I mean like reasonably, like at least 15, no, not 15. I was thinking more like 24, 25 terabytes would be reasonable on a on a computer or PC, to be honest. Oh yeah, by the way, these ropes are, if you haven't noticed already, like the way these ropes work, the purple ones drag you down, or at least I guess in the context for the Kongs here, they slip down the rope, and then for the blue one they go up the rope. So, and right before our eyes we can see Nintendo being egotistical as they can be, because what does this spell? Nintendo for this minigame. Hey, we spelled Nintendo! Yeah! Our beloved company. Anyways, so the gimmick of the stage is actually kind of hard to follow, personally, when I played through here. But as practice was something that practice was needed for sure, as I was like trial and error is probably a better term to use. And the reason why I'm saying that is because well, the better term for that is because, you know, when you do you know, as you know, you play the stage a little bit for a while, like 3 or 4 times, you get the hang of like what the gimmicks are. So I was playing it for like 3 or 4 times, and I was able to like actually like get the timing for it. Although with this stage in particular, it did take me quite a lot longer. In fact, funny enough, as guilty as charged, I would actually admit that I purposely took a bit longer to get the hang of the stage, because I found some sort of way to gain a lot of lives from this level by losing lives. If you get what I mean, just hang on, okay? Just hang on for a second, okay? Now, you know those mini games that you're required to kind of like somewhat complete for the most part? Well, for the most part on these mini games, yeah, I'll let you guys listen to the soundtrack at the outro, I guess. It'll be the outro music for today. If you guys haven't noticed what the outro musics were. Like, I would usually put the outro musics there, here and there. So, there's that. Flip. So, yeah. That's fun. Just love that, you know? So, I'll let you guys listen to this now, actually, since this will be a good point for you to listen. And then it just adds the twinkle. It's actually, like, insane. It's actually insane. Like, the twinkle and, like, how, like, just adding instruments to music. I don't know. I had to just appreciate it. I know a lot of people could care less to some degree, but I just had to point this out for this particular song because, like, when you add an instrument to, like, any, like, key signatures or anything like that, it's actually, like, just... it changes kind of like the vibe or the energy that it gives you, and it's just like that's the effect that the water theme gives you in a way too, on how like the key signature changes, or when you just plays the same the same set of notes over and over again when you add instruments, kind of like Dire Docks in Super Mario 64 as well, if you haven't noticed that too. But yeah, that's something that plays into effect. So Yeah, I thought I at least like kind of sidetrack with that, because to quite tell you the truth, like about the Steam Deck, I'm not gonna say too much about it because nobody's really gonna listen to me in terms of like, oh, should I buy this or not? Like, buy it if you want to. I'm gonna leave a video on why you should be cautious on doing so, and that's really it. In fact, I will go as far as to say, like, yeah, like people would say, like, yeah, it's just probably best to just, you know, make your own PC, which is actually difficult to some degree, which, yes, I get it, but I think in the long run, you know, like, it's good to make one because you can actually, like, customize it to your own advantage, and then, like, yeah, you can customize it to your own advantage. You can do whatever you want with it, make some modifications. Any mistakes and errors that you make, you can pretty much fix it for the next one or pretty much fix it on the current one. It's pretty easy, really, and it's actually rewarding in a way. Something I do want to touch on with this topic in general, with in terms of, you know, talking to people that don't listen and everything like that. I did finish watching, well, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this series, and I don't recommend it to any teens or anybody for that fact and matter. If you want to check it out, for sure, go ahead. I'm not gonna tell you to, I'm not trying to promote it by any means, but I think there was, like, obviously there was, like, a lot of drama around it too, because there was so much, like, actually so much drama around it, because it's, like, kind of one of the reasons why, as a creator, to not interact with your fans, and, like, if any show or if any, you know, any fandom, if anything, because it's kind of, it's just sad, because it's kind of, like, cool to be able to talk to the creator of the show, to just, like, kind of, like, not give insights and ideas, but just to, like, oh, like, this is what I think, or this is what I thought about, or this is what I'm theorizing, what do you think? Like, oh, that's a good theory to have, but hopefully, oh, I like to see what you're thinking once I reveal whatever else. There is the letter N and the DK barrel if you get through that section successfully enough. Throwing the barrel at that B is crucial, because if you don't, you pretty much just, yeah, you know, lose another life with the current Kongs that you have. Like, if you just have Donkey Kong or just Diddy Kong, it's just, yeah, it's game over right there. So yeah, so yeah, this is the area where technically I was starting to gain lives slowly but surely. You see that I'm losing lives, but I'm gonna gain lives, like, slowly as well. With the current count of the bananas, you can see how that's the case in a way. Because, funny enough, the amount of time that it took for me to finish this stage, I was like 42 minutes into the recording session. So this is like, yeah, you're welcome for cutting out as much as I could to make sure that the attempts that I'm showing here are just valid enough to show, where it shows that I'm making progress, but yeah, you know, trial and error just, you know, really is the key point. So with these ropes, it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of difficult to make sure to not, like, slide down. So that's the whole point with these ropes, is to not climb up. It's to keep jumping around, because that's what happens when you land on these ropes. You have to constantly, like, keep climbing up. So that's just how it works. So yeah, with this one, you just kind of jump around until you grab said letter. So yeah, and there's the exit, and I'm done. There you go. So, anyways, back to the show that I was talking about with the fandom wise and everything, with, like, the drama being and everything. In fact, even the creator, the creator herself was just like, straight up, like, I am not touching this fandom or touching this franchise with a 10-foot pole. Like, I want nothing to do with it. I'm gonna die in peace. It's your turn, Gaslight District. Because, like, holy crap, I feel really bad for the creator in a way. Because, like, I kind of get it. Like I said, it's just like when something becomes bigger than... When your creation becomes bigger than what you can handle, it's only a matter of time where things can get very toxic very quickly. And it's actually very sad to, like, say said thing, because it's true. It's actually very much true. I hate the fact that it's true, but it's true. So, yeah. With that being said, the ending of the show was premiered. It also premiered in theaters. If you saw it within the last 3 weeks, it was released this month. So there's that too. What else did I want to say? Oh, it relates to a topic of what I've been trying to say recently on, like, why I'm saying the things that I'm saying right now, because, you know, like, it's something that I've learned as I'm aging and whatnot, and I'm not even that old. I'm gonna be honest, straight up honest with you. I'm not that old, but I sound old because, I mean, obviously for the sounding of my voice, I don't sound that old, but, like, I mean, which I hope I don't, but if I do, then okay, whatever. Then I don't really care. I really do not give two flying... I don't give two flying rocks that are coming across the screen right now, really. Because the thing is that, when it comes to, like... Oh, yeah. So, remember how I said check to your left? So, this is how you check to your left, okay? You see the bananas down to your left, you know, the bottom left corner? Well, don't do that. You should do this instead. Sorry. Probably should just show the attempt where I actually make it. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's what you want to do. And then you get this ostrich. Make sure you try to keep the ostrich for the entire stage, because that's also how you get the letter N, which I'll show you how to get it later on, because I didn't realize this until later on, that was the only way to get to said platforms. It's actually kind of sad that that's the fact, but it is the fact. So, oh well, you know. Oh well. So yeah, keeping the ostrich is absolutely hard to do, but with practice, it's actually not that hard. And actually, this stage didn't take me that long, to be honest with you. It only took me like 10 minutes to do. So, I think that's as long as this whole stage I'm showing right now it took me. So anyway, there you go. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so, you know, as I get older and whatnot, you know, these lessons that I'm learning, like, you know, I'm just, you know, listen. And I'm telling you guys to listen for a reason, because I mean, obviously, anybody around my age wouldn't listen, or even any teenager, if in fact, wouldn't listen at all, because, you know, and then, honestly, like, I'm not saying you have to listen to everyone, just, I mean, in a way, listen to them, but you don't have to take every single advice that's being given to you, basically. Like, you can take what's benefiting you in the long run, pray about it, and then move on with it. You know, like, just go with what's, you know, what common, like, with common sense, what makes sense, you know, in the scenarios that are being given, and, you know, that are being shown at the long run, because, you know, like, it reflects on, like, what you choose to listen to and what you choose not to listen to. Now, with that being said, don't be too picky about it, but also just kind of, like, as I said before, pray about it. That's probably the one advice I would say to literally take, because, you know, at the end of the show that I watched, somebody who, even the creator said this person deserved to be in this mess in the first place, because he pretty much made his bed and now he has to lie in it. And it clearly states on how that's the case. In fact, there's even, like, warnings and everything on how, you know, people should, like, actually look out for themselves too in the midst of it when they try to help anybody else that's asking for help, in a way. Because when it comes to, like, asking for help, it's like, okay, I'm asking for help so that way I can be able to, you know, stand on my feet and then be able to help other people, right? Like, you know, like, if I want to eat, I want to, obviously, let's say I want some fish, right? Like, you give me a fish, you gave me fish for today. Now, wouldn't it be cool if I was able to get fish for myself? Yeah, teach me how to get the fish, right? So, I mean, common sense, right? Like, if I learn how to fish, then I can get myself fish for life. It's quite common. Now, for people that are just being lazy and just want to get the fish handed from you, well, they're going to have to learn that one day they can't exactly just do that forever, because one, you're not going to be around forever, and two, they might have to move on to somewhere else, and if they are being asked for advice or any sort of like help, well, you can't really help somebody if you can't even help yourself. So there's that to look at too. Huge thing to consider in the long run. So back to the topic at hand with the show. It shows that, like, people that don't want to, straight up just don't want to be helped and just want to be weighted hand and foot or whatever, or even just like are seeking for attention or straight up resisting help, in the long run. I think in some cases it is valid to resist help, because in a way, like, there's certain help that's needed and there's certain help where it's unhealthy, right? And where it's healthy, it's like where it's going to benefit both parties in the long run. But if it's only benefiting one party, or even if it's not benefiting either party, it's going to hurt both of you guys in the long run, because it's not something to like just play around at, and you're wasting your own energy, your own self-being, your own mental just your own like just your own time, and and just kind of just killing yourself in a way. I mean, I hate to say it, that's just as bluntly as I can say it. You're gonna screw yourself over in the long run. And it's not something to just, like, there's people that want to be helped, and then there's others that don't want to be helped. And so when you try to help the people that don't want to be helped in the long run, really think about, like, is it worth helping this person anymore? Maybe not, because they made their bed and now they have to lie in it, basically, right? Because when it comes to that circumstance now, it's like, well, look, they're the problem now. They're clearly not gonna like try to improve themselves or even try to make amends to Croctopus Chase. I think the last stage was called Ice Age Alley, I believe. I never read the stages, so my bad. This stage is also kind of weird, but I kind of liked it. It wasn't that hard, to be honest. It was just tedious, basically. The gimmick is an octopus is chasing you, basically. Or Choctopus. Hey, I wonder if that's how Choctopus got his name. That's funny, actually. That's actually hilarious. I wonder if the YouTuber Choctopus is how he got his name. That's actually crazy. Funny. Well, anyways, back to the topic. Like, at the end of the show, it shows that this person, is suffering the consequences for their own actions by consistently pushing people away, hurting others, being a complete problem to other people that are trying to just extend a hand to help. And in some ways, I kind of relate to this character, but not to the full extent of, like, how he's handling or how he's, like, reacting to said situations. To some situations, I can completely kind of understand, but not completely. I can kind of understand. Sorry, I meant to say kind of understand, but at the same time, like I wouldn't exactly hurt the person that's trying to help me. And in fact, it's kind of like, I mean, what I see is a person with trust issues, but is not, he's hurting the wrong people, basically. He's hurting the people that are trying to actually genuinely help him or genuinely trying to listen. And I kind of see where the trust issues lie because of the story that he brought, he was brought from. And it's kind of hard to, like, take somebody to, like, really, like, first of all, he needs to take accountability for his own actions, like, of what happened here. But secondly, you know, like, he needs to be able to move on and be able to, like, kind of open himself back up. Now, you can say this with a lot of situations and with a lot of, like, scenarios that are here and there. Every situation and scenario is unique and different in their own ways, obviously, right? But, you know, like, the way how he was reacting or the way he's, like, acting towards everybody else, it's just not logical, and it's just hurting everyone around him, and it's not, you know, it's just not right, basically. It really isn't right at all. And to some degree, like, when you hurt like, what I'm trying to say is, like, you know, like, this person clearly does not want to be helped, does not want to be, he does not want to open up about his personal life, he does not want to trust anybody with his personal life. And so, to some degree, like, when he did what he did, well, in punishment, that's what he ends up doing, because that was his therapy. It was just to screw everything up and pretend everything's not real, because to be quite frank, how else is he supposed to handle this situation? That's how he kind of, like, that's what helps him. This is what helps him, like, cope, basically, which is not right, because there's got to be some sort of rehabilitation, like, therapy for that, if anything. So, you know, and you know, trust issues is a huge thing to, like, try to overcome, really, because, like, once trust is gone, it's just kind of hard to gain it back to anybody, because, you know, it's betrayed, it's hurtful, and you don't want to feel disappointed as you felt the first time, and it hurts. I mean, disappointment really hurts. It really does. I mean, as someone who's been disappointed quite a lot in my lifetime, like, I hate feeling that again. It sucks. It really puts me in a mood. Like, no, I'm not even kidding you. Like, the mood that I'm currently at most of the time in my life is not as bad as I would be if I were disappointed, because when I'm disappointed, it kind of, like, I guess for me, it's just kind of like, not a lash out, but it's just kind of like, you know, like, I'm not in a good mood. I don't want to be, I'm going to be a difficult person to talk to, so stay away, you know. Obviously, I'm not going to hurt you personally. I'm just, you know, I don't want to talk. I just want to do my own thing. I want to be alone, you know, and I do not want to be cheered up, and I just want to sulk for pretty much for a long time, actually, which is actually sad to say the least. That's, I mean, but that's just what happened when the last time I was disappointed. I just wanted to sulk for 3 weeks, and the last time I was disappointed was 4 years ago. So, you know, to feel disappointment, I mean, obviously I've been disappointed with, or I guess, like, I was greatly disappointed 4 years ago, obviously, but, like, yeah, I was disappointed with other times, but the difference between the times where I was disappointed, like, 4 years ago, and then disappointed nowadays, I guess, is, like, I kind of expected the disappointment to happen, so I was like, I was ready for the realistic outcome to happen, really, right? At least for me. I'm not trying to say don't have hope in anything. I'm not saying that at all, although you shouldn't have hope, complete hope in worldly things. You should have hope in God's plan, really. What I'm saying here is that, you know, like, having hope in temporary things, or really trying to have hope in a lot of, trying to have hope in, like, whatchamacallit, like, trying to have hope in things that you try to build upon yourself, or people try to build upon you. If it's not God doing it, it's not worth trying to put hope in it too greatly, because, like I said, you're going to be disappointed. And I guess for, like, a lot of people, it's easy, like, not easy, but just like, it's kind of like a muscle kind of thing, like, where, actually, I'm gonna stop for a second. I'm gonna interrupt for a second, sorry. Sure looks like I'm Mr. Popular today, yes sirree! The crafty croctopus corners his crock of collectibles in coral capers. Clump's hard hat protects him against your jump attacks. You'll have to roll him. You know all you need to know for now. Alright. I wanna go back and be an idiot. So you're back again! I knew a punk kid like you couldn't do the job. And jungle hijinks, stick to the treetops to earn extra lives. If you roll attack a baddie, your speed increases when you hit the next one. I could sit here and rock all day, especially if you two leave me alone. Alright, third time. I don't know how you dare show your face in here again after that pitiful performance. In jungle hijinks, stick to the treetops to earn extra lives. I read in the manual that you can jump further if you hold down the run button. Come back and see me sometime. I'll be here. He knows. He knows I screwed up that badly in 4-1 and 4-2. Yep, don't make the players like they used to. Alright, he just says the same thing. Alright, I'm gonna give it back to you. It's been nice talking to you guys. Can we get a petition to change Cranky Kong's name to Bass Kong? Because that is the vibe I'm getting from this guy. The older I get, and I'm not even that, guys. I'm not even that old. I swear I'm not. And this guy's Bass Kong for sure. Because what the heck, bro? He gets it. He knows what's up. And like a lot of people just want to sit here and like, nah, don't listen to him. He's just cranky. Like, no, he knows what's up. He knows what's up because, you know, he was once young and stupid, and now, you know, now he's like, now he just knows what's up and old and wise, basically. And obviously, like, there's gonna be some advices I'm gonna take later on in the game once I finish this game because I'm doing this blindly. He kept mentioning tree chop, so I'll see what that's about possibly in the next episode if I have time. I'll definitely make time to do so. Although it's gonna be hard to get an episode out by Friday if I'm gonna be pretty busy this week with a lot of other things. I have a big project I have to do, so it's gonna be something for sure. But yeah, what was I prying about my personal life about like trust issues and whatnot? Oh yeah, I mean, I guess it's just an example of like, you know, disappointments are gonna happen regardless, you know, in your entire life. That's something to expect, and it's kind of like a muscle memory to like train in a way. Like obviously, it's not gonna be like kind of like that, like just there you go, like. Thought I was gonna do this stage kind of flawlessly, but didn't, so that's okay. That actually didn't take me. This stage didn't take me too long, thankfully. I think it only took me another 7 to 9 minutes, I would say. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Obviously, with cutting this whole recording session in half in a way, it's basically. I'm not even kidding you when I'm saying that. Like, I pretty much did cut this whole recording session in half, in a way. So, there goes Donkey Kong, because I took damage. You will see me back here in a second, actually. Because, in order to get the letter G, you're going to need that barrel. And I'll show you why you're going to need that barrel. So, there's Candy's save point right there, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, let's just get to the nitty and gritty of it. But there is a bonus room that I did want to show. I didn't exactly read the room too well. Thankfully, I wasn't going for the life. I was actually trying to go for the group of bananas, but didn't. So it really it's okay. Anyways, as I was saying before, disappointments are gonna happen regardless, and you know, it's a muscle memory, as I said before, and it's something that honestly, like, you should obviously like kind of keep yourself guarded up for, in a way, because it's not, you know, it's gonna happen, and you know, obviously you're gonna have big disappointments that are gonna happen again for sure. I already know I'm gonna have another big disappointment coming my way. I don't know what it is gonna be exactly yet, but we'll see it. And then, you know, obviously the only thing I can really control is the attitude and effort towards and just how I react to the situation, because, you know, watch this. Yeah, so from an hour to that. So there you go. You're welcome on cutting this. So yeah, you're welcome. So I know, guys. I'm very merciful with not having you watch a 2-hour video of me completing area 4. So there's that. So that was accidental, but I was glad I did that. So I'm not gonna, and I guess in a way, expected disappointments actually does make the positive moments a lot better, personally, because whenever I have a positive moment happen, it's like, oh great, like this is actually, holy crap, this is good, you know, we're doing good, life's good, you know. I mean, I'll probably be chill about it, because I mean my energy as a whole is just kind of chilled out a bit, but you know, nothing wrong with having a really happy moment in life when good things happen, you know. So I don't know really what else to really rant about, other than the fact that, you know, the Steam prices and, you know, with the gaming industry and everything, like how things are just going to keep skyrocketing in a way, because that's just how the economy is going to just work in a way. On the bright side, I guess on the bright side, like, at least there are some like fights that are still, you know, in the works, kind of like the Stop Killing Games one. I just received news that it's still in the works to some degree, so it's not like the battle's completely over yet, but you know, it was just a battle that they have lost basically, but the war's not over, because you know, there's just, I guess in a way, a really good point too. I guess I could rant about this too, because it actually would be a really good point to bring about, because that it is something that I do notice myself in real life, is that when anybody makes an argument or makes any sort of like, I guess make any statement, they intentionally misunderstand your point of view and then just try to like throw you under the bus with your point of view, instead of trying to like see both sides of the story, or kind of like defend their own reasoning and, you know, try to actually make it a reasonable reason. And, you know, and what I mean by that is like they intentionally misunderstand. What I mean by they intentionally misunderstand what you're saying is like, you know, on purposely like misunderstand exactly what you're saying, and you know, it's one of those things where it's like you're trying to be logical with this person, but clearly they're just being an absolute retard about it, and you know, you can't really do anything about it, so you just move on. That's what I usually do. I just move on about it, because I'm not sitting here arguing. I really don't have much time. I mean, obviously I have a lot of time to waste, but do I want to waste that time is the question. No, I don't. So I'm gonna move on, because it's energy I don't want to waste. I have other places to waste my energy on. So, you know, and it's one of those things where I've seen this happen with a lot of topics, a lot of issues, a lot of like, you know, even with kind of like in propaganda in a way. This is the Rats Naughty's Revenge I forgot. I actually did not read the stage. Oh well. I'll have another chance to read it because they actually made him more challenging to some degree. But the pattern was easy to read once you play it. So really naughty's. Oh, did I think I got it in this attempt actually because I skipped the other attempts. It took me like 3 more attempts. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, this is my 3rd attempt. Yeah, this is my 3rd attempt. So this is not bad. So there's that. There we go. Boom. I think that's gonna call it. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think about that last topic I just brought up pretty much for the most part there, because like, yeah, like in terms of the stop killing games argument, like the whole point is to like so that we can continue to play the games that are out there instead of having to rebuy the same game on a newer system. We could just play on the older system, and then obviously if it requires internet or some sort of like, you know, some sort of like subscription of some sort of like internet, we'll just buy the server from them and then continue it on from there, and then make our own subscription base to like keep the IP alive or keep the server alive, you know, in our own ways. We're not going to steal anything. We're just basically just asking for permission to take ownership of it, since you're no longer going to support it because you have other things to support, which makes a lot of sense. But like, how, and then like they on purpose like misunderstand the point of like, oh, how are we going to sell the games? Like, how about instead of asking how you're going to sell the games, how about like, okay, well, how are you going to? Well, actually, no. You can ask that question, but like, the games that you're selling right now are absolute garbage and slop. So like, the real question you should be asking in the behind the scenes is like, how are we going to make games that are like this game, basically, that I'm playing right now? You know, appealing, you know, straight to the point, complete, doesn't require DLC, doesn't require updates because the game's complete. That's what was required back in the 1980s and 1990s, before I was born, basically. We need to have that same standard back. It's okay to have updates once in a while for a few games that like, oh, like, yeah, I found this glitch here, found this little thing here. Yeah, that's fine. But that shouldn't be a standard that we stoop down to. But I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. But anyways, I'm going to call it here. I'll see you guys in the next episode for Area 5. If I even get through Area 5. We'll see what happens, basically. Maybe for the most part we'll see that happen, but yeah, I'm gonna call it here. So don't forget to share, like, subscribe, whatever. I'll leave the video about the Steam Deck, or yeah, really the Steam Machine down below, and don't forget to shine bright and stay bright.